What's it going to take to actually get a special counsel?
It will take a factual basis that meets the standards of the appointment of a special counsel.
Well, we know one fact. We know the Clinton campaign, the Democrat National Committee paid for, through the law firm, paid for the dossier. We know that happened. And it sure looks like the FBI was paying the author of that document. Doesn't that warrant naming a second special counsel, as 20 members of this committee wrote you 3.5 months ago asking you to do?
Hey, follow me at DaveWeinbaum.com, on Twitter at TheDaveWeinbaum, and on Facebook.
You do have a Department of Justice with women and men who have dedicated their careers to the enforcement of the law, and you have 94 U.S. attorneys' offices. So while I love Jimmy Jordan, and he's a 3-time NCAA wrestling champion, so I don't like disagreeing with him, and he is a very good friend. But what I would say to Jimmy and all my other friends is special counsel is when there's a conflict of interest with the Department of Justice or all 94 U.S. attorneys. I think we all think factual predicates should be investigated if there's a basis to do so. Whether that's done by special counsel or the Department of Justice really is of no consequence to me.
First, GQ made Colin Kaepernick Citizen of the Year for obviously taking the knee. He got the press, but he drove NFL viewers away. GQ seems poised to copy him. Then there's Glamour. Glamour naming Linda Sarsour as one of their Women of the Year. Sarsour champions Sharia law and once brutally mocked women brave enough to challenge it, including a victim of female genital mutilation. How is that pro-women? Who's doing Glamour's research? Hamas? So why would editors make such choices? Well, they're not just expressing admiration. They're desperate to publicly express their own moral correctness, elevating their position among their liberal peers.
It should be no surprise to you that black people, in particular black men, have been taught forever that they have to be careful how they behave around white people, that the way they behave will be interpreted differently, that when they misbehave, it'll be punished differently, that if they laugh too loud, if they walk into a nice store. So with all due respect, Tucker, what was true for you has never been true for lots of people.
Well, I guess there are a lot of ways to respond to that. One, on a factual basis, and in truth, in a lot of places in this country, the main threat that African Americans face is not from white people, as you perfectly well know. But beyond that, the idea that you could understand a person's motive merely by knowing his race dehumanizes that person. It's the definition of racism, and you're engaging in it in the New York Times, and nobody says anything about it. And I just felt it was worth pointing that out and asking you if you feel it's okay to generalize about people you've never met, about whom you know nothing beyond what they look like, and say, I know who you are and what you believe.
Over the weekend, the ethically corrupt New York Times published an op-ed titled, "Can My Children Be Friends with White People?" Better question, could this article be any more racist? Seriously, are you freaking kidding me? For those of you who have yet to read this little doozy, I'll save you the gag reflex and give you a quick recap. The writer, a black college professor, isn't sure if his children are safe around white people or if they're safe to pursue friendships with their light-skinned peers. Yes, you can't make this stuff up. Apparently, this writer and the New York Times editorial board don't understand how racism works, or maybe they just don't care. Racism goes both ways. It's not an exclusive label the leftist mainstream media gets to allocate or dictate or slap on those of us with white skin. If the title of the article were, "Can My Children Be Friends with Black People?" the leftists would lose their minds, and rightfully so. It's a disgusting question and a disgusting piece of editorial garbage. The left lives in an obscure world where Colin Kaepernick is Citizen of the Year, and it's okay to ask if your kids can have white friends. Wow.
From ESPN SportsCenter, more details on Roger Goodell's contract with the NFL. As previously reported, Goodell demanded a raise to $49.5 million for life annually. Plus, he demanded a private jet. We now found out that Goodell has these other demands. An end-of-the-world clause. World ends, he still gets paid. He wants a special team of the best NFL kneelers assigned to give him weekly manicures, pedicures, and just general worshiping him. A lifetime supply of chapstick to be used for kissing the NFL Players Union's butts. 41 weeks of vacation per year, and 70 paid sick days. And a rotating crew of cheerleaders to assist him in bathing. And let's not forget...
Wipers!
What do you know from funny, you